Tithing and saving are the twin pillars of financial freedom, along with a few others that we're going to look at. Now, tithe means 10. It doesn't mean 8 or 12, or it means 10%. And God says the first 10% of what I make goes back to him. Why? Well, God obviously doesn't need your money. I mean, he doesn't need it. So why does he do it? It's for my sake, not for his sake. It's to teach me three things. It's to teach me to be grateful for the past. It's to teach me to have God as my number one priority in the present. And it's to teach me to trust him for the future. And he's saying, put your money where your mouth is. Are you grateful for all I've given you? Am I really number one in your life? Do you trust me with the future? Then he says, tithe. I saw a bumper sticker there that said, tithe if you love Jesus. Any fool can honk. Well, it's true. Now, I realize that some of you, this is really hard for you because you grew up not doing this. I've tithed since I was a little kid. My parents taught me, so it wasn't a big deal for me. Others of you, it's hard for you. 10%, I can't live without 10%. Then you're in debt. Then it means you're living beyond your means. And so I do it not, God doesn't need my money, but I do it because I'm grateful. It shows I'm grateful, but I wouldn't have anything if it weren't for God. And God, you're number one, so I give you the first part of my money, like you say, and I'm trusting you to take care of me in the future. That's called tithing. And then God says, here's the other twin discipline. At the same time, I expect you to save. You mean don't spend it all? Yeah. God says, I want you to save. And I want you to save for the reasons that I've given to you in your word. It's wise. You can't presume on the future. It shows discipline. It teaches you contentment. There are all kinds of good reasons for savings. In fact, about half of Jesus' parables that Jesus told have to do with money. And in those, he's always commending the wise investor. Investment is a good thing. Savings is a good thing. And God says, this is one of the twin disciplines that I want you to practice so you don't spend more than you've got. Now, if you can't tithe and you can't save, you're already spending too much. Notice these two verses, one about each. Malachi 3:8, the Bible says, will a man rob God? Yet you rob me. You say, well, how do I do that? You say, how do we rob you? In tithes and offerings. Said, you're not giving me the part I told you to give back. And then look at the verse on spending, Proverbs 21:20. The wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. In other words, as soon as it comes in, it's going right out. And if I'm not tithing, I'm not saving, I'm already in the debt trap. Number 4, unable to pay taxes. Unable to pay taxes. If you're having to borrow to pay taxes, then you're already in the debt trap.
The rest of today's message is coming your way in just a few moments.